One piece of earnest advice I saw recently on the topic of learning to improvise as a GM was, gotta get your reps in, which, in case the idiom is unfamiliar, is a reference to working out, where you make multiple repetitions of a particular exercise or lift. It means that practicing something over and over is necessary for improvement. That's all well and good, but practice what exactly? Let's talk about that. Welcome to Indeterminate Infinities, where we discuss multifarious aspects of the art of game mastering. My name is Gene. While competing in debate and speech tournaments in high school and college, I won more than a few trophies in improvisational speaking. Then I became a professional writer and information architect, and I've been DMing for 49 years. In my own previous videos on improvisation and related topics, I have given similar advice. The only way to get better is to try something, give yourself permission to be imperfect, and keep doing it, slowly getting better as you go. This is true, but it doesn't tell you what to do and repeat. It's the equivalent of saying to a person who says they want to learn to play the saxophone, just practice and keep practicing and soon you'll be a virtuoso, without telling them even what part of the saxophone to blow into, how to set up a reed on the mouthpiece, where to put your fingers to control the keys and change notes, or even how to breathe properly while you're doing all that. In this video, I'm going to give you a specific method of practicing Game Master improvisation, then we'll discuss specific exercises using that method. The method. Practice many aspects of improvisation when you are alone and practice out loud. Neuroscientists have shown that when we are thinking about something, particularly a problem we're trying to solve, only certain portions of the brain light up with any activity. But if we describe our problem by speaking aloud, a whole lot more of the brain gets involved. We see the situation from a slightly different perspective. So, one reason to practice aloud is to get more of your brain involved in thinking about and planning for ways to respond when players do something you didn't expect. But the main reason is it builds verbal memory. Just like getting in your reps and during certain sports practice gets your muscles ready to do it without even thinking, practicing responding to the unexpected repeatedly will make some responses come more readily to your lips during a game. You will also find yourself stumbling over certain combinations of words that when you wrote them down, they seemed correct, but you have difficulty wrapping your tongue around them. Revise the sentence until it isn't a tongue twister for you, and practice that version. This method also can help some people get a better handle on the lingering anxiety when improvising in front of a group of people at the table. You need to spend more than just a few minutes doing this between sessions, and you have to keep at it. I can't count the number of times as an adult I have had to explain to a partner or roommate or whatever, I'm talking out loud about this problem, I'm thinking out loud about this problem, or I'm practicing aloud what I'm going to say at that meeting tomorrow, or I'm practicing voices for my next game session. Now, with this method, what should you be practicing? First, practice being curious. I said in a previous video that the first step in GM improvisation is to be curious. When a player says they want to do something you totally hadn't planned for, ask leading questions. Practice some leading questions. What specifically are you looking for? Tell me exactly how you're going to investigate. Describe what your character does physically. Do you have that spell pulled up? Let's look at the description together. How exactly are you going to be holding your weapon while you're going to try this? If you're having trouble thinking of your own leading questions, think about times in previous games where unusual questions or uses of actions came up. You don't have to have been the GM at the time. Another player asks a question the GM clearly wasn't prepared for. Think of that question, not what the GM answered. Think of details that, in hindsight, you would have made the request more clear. Use those to write some of your own leading questions to practice. Second, practice talking in character. In an earlier video, I suggested you always keep a small number of generic NPCs ready to respond to character actions. Practice talking like those generic characters. Please note that I said talking in character. I didn't say speaking with an accent or with a voice actor quality voice. You can do that. But first, think about the kinds of words this NPC would use. Think about how slowly or quickly they talk. Think about their demeanor and how they might come across in the form of long pauses or repeated uses of For example, a person who works as a barmaid, bartender, or waiter at a rowdy tavern where the pints are cheap and the crowd is always boisterous might speak like, "Just find yourself a place to sit and I'll be right there." Whereas the hostess of an elegant and expensive salon that caters only to the wealthiest of merchants and landed gentry might speak more slowly because she is not used to being interrupted, and more formally. Like, if you have not arranged a prior reservation, I'm afraid your choice of seating will be severely limited, and the wait will not be brief. Meanwhile, a kid bussing tables at a common pub, seeing the player characters in armor and weapons and looking dangerous, might be like, anywhere you want to sit, we'll do our best. We don't usually, I don't greet fine folks like you yourself often. Sorry if I'm being a bit clumsy. Focus on word choice and speed. Think about speaking style. Do they talk smoothly and carefully? Are they in a hurry? Are they bored with their job, giving terse or surly responses? Are they flustered and sputtering? As you are trying these styles of speaking out loud and hear how they sound different than you may have imagined, make little changes. Maybe the flustered busboy should say, sorry, more often. Maybe the hostess would have used even more snooty words. This will again build more of that verbal memory. Practicing style and phrases of often outside of the game, and sometimes they'll just pop up out of your mouth spontaneously when a player walks up to some NPC with an unexpected question. Third, practice descriptions and the like. In another video, I said an important step in GM improvisation is immersing yourself, and I suggested writing evocative sentences that capture the mood for you. Some of those sentences may have turns of phrase that you are proud of, so practice reading only those special ones aloud. If you've written any descriptions of rooms or other things in your dungeon or adventure, practice saying them aloud. Revise them until they roll smoothly off of your tongue. You can use this method for many things. Practicing speaking out loud, whether it be leading questions, speaking styles, or descriptive phrases, will go a long way to making your improvisation look effortless. And that's where we'll leave it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up button and/or consider sharing it. Click subscribe to be notified when new videos are uploaded. If you have any thoughts on this topic, leave them in the comments below. Until next time, keep dreaming.